And Molly, you can watch this too. It's a good review. Solving by completing the square. That's what they want us to do here. Remember, there's a couple ways you can solve a quadratic. This is quadratic because it's got this squared here. There's a couple ways you can solve it. If it factors, that would be the easiest way to solve it. However, this doesn't factor it. Kind of looks like it does because 7 plus 3 is 10, but this is a negative, so it doesn't factor. So you could use the quadratic formula. That's one way that a lot of people like to use, the negative b plus or minus square root of b squared minus 4ac over 2a. But that's actually not the easiest way to do it when the leading coefficient is 1 and your b is an even number. Completing the square is a really easy way to do it. So I'm going to really quickly show you how to complete the square. First, move the 21 over to the other side. I added 21. Now I'm going to add and subtract the same thing. I'm going to take half of b, which is 5, and square it. And I'm going to add it to both sides. And the reason I'm adding it to both sides is because, whoops, not 25 squared, 5 squared. The reason I'm adding it to both sides is because I need to keep my equation balanced. And my equation is balanced here because I just added 25 to both sides. The reason I do that is because now this thing factors into a perfect square binomial. It's a perfect square. This is called a perfect square trinomial because it works out. When you factor it, it factors into y plus 5 times y plus 5, which is y plus 5 squared. And now let's simplify this side. 25 plus 21 is 46. Now why did I do that? I did that because now I'm able to solve this equation. Look at this equation. Can I solve it by isolating the y? No, because I have two y's. I have a y squared and a y. But this equation, because I have only one y, and that's why you completed the square, because it gives you one y, I can now isolate the y by getting rid of the 2 and the 5 in that order. How do I get rid of the 2?
Square root.
I take the square root. Don't forget the plus or minus sign. How do I get rid of the 5? Subtract it and put it in front. It looks better. And let's simplify this. 46, what's half of 46? 23. So I guess it doesn't simplify. So there's your answer. Negative 5 plus or minus the square root of 46. So your two solutions are negative 5 plus the square root of 46 and negative 5 minus the square root of 46. And if you were to plug these back in for y, one at a time, plug negative 5 plus root 46 in for y, both places, you'll get this thing to equal 0 because that's what it means to solve an equation. You would have got the exact same solution if you used the quadratic formula. It just would have taken sort of a different path, and it would have, maybe you'd have to simplify it a little bit more, and it might be a little bit harder to do actually. In this case, that's how you complete the square. Solve by completing the square.